Welcome back again. So we're still continuing our class. I want us to look at another classification algorithms today, which is called KNN, otherwise known as K nearest neighbors. Right? It's one of interesting supervised learning algorithm for classification. It actually uses similar feature similarities to predict the values of new adaptations or rather new data points rather, which further means that the new data point will be assigned a value based on how closely it matches the point in the training set. Okay, I have some properties which I want us to look at first. The first one is called lazy learning algorithm because KNN is a lazy learning algorithm because it does not have a specialized training phase. Okay, and it uses all the data for training while classifying. Okay, non-parametric learning algorithm also is also a non-parametric learning algorithm because it does not assume anything about the underlying data, no assumptions, not like a logistic regression, which has some assumptions. All right. Okay, so in building KNN, you must understand that there are steps to follow. Okay, uh, the first one is to load the data, okay, to memory, which we have been looking at before. Then data will be split into its own percentages, which is maybe 80 to 20, 17 to 30, depend on which one you want to use, and also split into their features and their target uh, varieties, elements. Now, data also need to be normalized because before training, KNN algorithm, it's essential to normalize the data to ensure that each feature contributes equally to the distance metric calculation. Now, the calculation I'm talking about here, once the data is normalized, KNN algorithm calculates the distances between the test data point and each data point is in the training set. Right? The select K nearest neighbor based on the distance calculated in the previous steps. Okay, and to make predictions, the algorithm assign the test data point to class that appears most frequently among the K nearest neighbors. For regression problem, the KNN algorithm assigns the test data point the average of the K nearest neighbor values. So to evaluate performance, we just, as usual, we perform what they call our usual metric performance, using the accuracy, precision, recall, and so on. So I'm going to demonstrate example. So before that, let us quickly look at this illustration first, which I want to understand how this particular concept work. Okay, so let's look at this data now. Look at the count number here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we have 5 red. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 blue here. So or purple, whichever one. So now here we want to look at how this particular concept actually works. Now, if you scroll down now, you see we can, if you want to put a point now, we can put a point from here down here. Let's say you want to have a point here. You want to know which this point we are having here. Where should it go? Should it go this side or this side? Okay, that will be determined by the number of nearest values, nearest point. Okay. Okay, so now we need to classify the data, the new data now which we are choosing now. Maybe the data fall is within this range, 60 by 60. Okay, it fall within this range, 60 by 60 now. Okay, we want to know in the maybe it's going to be falling to blue or to red class. Okay, let's assume that our k is 3, so it will find 3 nearest data. That's what it means. Okay, if our k is 3, if our k is 5, it will find 5 nearest data. Okay, that is how it works. Okay, so in the next diagram now, if you look at it here, these are our points we are looking at now, and don't forget 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have before, and similar we have before here. So why is the model is working? It's looking for nearest 3 data. Okay, look for it, but unfortunately it got pick one from blue and two from red here, which are, as far as it's concerned, is nearest to this point called black point here. So we want to look at where this point should go, whether it should go here or here. So because 2 points comes from here, and the 1 point from here, which means this particular point will be red. This black point become red. So it goes here. That is how it works. So you can see from the diagram above that the three nearest neighbors of the data point with black dots, among these three, 2 of them lies in red class. Hence, the black dot will also be assigned in red class. So that's what it means. So this is how it works. So if we are using 5 points, k equal to 5, it will look for the closest 5, okay, by itself, and anyone that is at a win, it's like they are 14. That's what it means. They are 14. So it's okay. I take me. That when you are 14, and the one that is have highest number, then that is where the new points will belong to. That is as simple as that. That is how KNN works. Okay, let's do some little implementation now using our release data set now, which is common data set we have been using before. So just run the data set here as usual. Okay, and we load it here. Then we try to split data set into training set and testing set. Okay, using 20% for testing and 80% for training. So we run the data set, and we can do some normalization. Like I'm following the same step I've given up here now, so that will make the work easier. Okay, so scaled features to ensure equal weighting in the distance calculations. Right, so this is critical for KNN. All right, so we are going to scale it using our standard scaler. We pass in our string here. So we just run this line of code, which is string. So now we want to also train the model now. So after so we just run this line of code now. So our KNN is trained. So we are using nearest neighbor, our k equal to 5. Okay, but we can see if you want to change here now, you can because here we have more parameters here you can pass in, because because by default it uses Euclidean distance by default. Okay, with p equals to 1. Okay, but we can change it to other metrics such as a Minkowski or to Manhattan. Okay, with p equal to 1. Okay, so this depends on what you want. So if we try this one, maybe it doesn't work fine. Based on your data, you can change it to this or to this. So there are room for those ones actually. Depend on your kind of work you are doing or data you are working with. So let us make prediction by classifying the test sample by finding the majority class among the k nearest neighbors. So this is what we do for us. It helps us locate it. So when we run this now, we try to make prediction. We evaluate models now. Let's run the so which we are having one. Excuse me. We're having one which is 100%. You can see here. So was able to give us 100%, which is under normal real data. You may not have such a amount, such 100% actually. Okay, but we are just using this one to test. Okay, so the distance metric here by default KNN uses distance, which I have explained. Then a small k, e.g. 3, may capture noise, while larger k, e.g. 10, smooth decision boundaries. But we use k equal to 5 just for demonstration purpose only. And normalization prevent features like petal length, large values from dominating sepal width values, which is smaller values. So the petal length is bigger and the sepal length width is smaller. So instead of allowing one to dominate the other, we have to normalize. Okay, so let's visualize the plot decision boundary to see how KNN classify regions. So we can just using PCA to separate them and just plot column 1 and column 2. Don't forget, I explained last time that when you want to print now, this one column 1, column 2, you can actually change and print other columns, for example. Okay, because they are not the same. You can print like 3 columns, 3 out. So let me run this first, and if you run this now, you have this. So look at what you have. So it's giving us in this color now. So you can see them here, 3 colors shown here. Okay, but if you want to print other ones, because we are saying here the business component should give us two components. We have only two components now. Okay, you can see it is component 1 and 2. Print out component 1 and 2. That's what we are having here. So if you want to print this component 1, the component 2, all right, which is x-axis. X-axis is component 1, y is component 2. This we have in here and here. So if you want to print other ones, you can change it here, which means that if I want to print, I can say, okay, I want to print a component 1 and 3. Okay, this will now be 0 and 2 here, 0 and 2. So in that case, my number of components I'm going to choose here is going to be more than 2. Okay, if I want to send it, for example, if I change this one to 3, for example, now I can now print 1 and 3. Now I can change this one to 2 here, so that's in component 3. So if you change this one, we change automatically. Okay, I'm printing component 1 and 3 now. If I run again, I can print 1 and 3. So it will, I can save this one as a plot, and then to see the difference. If I run this now, so it gives me some error here now. Okay, so Matplotlib component 2. So sorry, it's 3, not 2 here. Sorry, this is 0, 1, 2. Okay, 0, 1, 2, not 3. This one is 3 components. So it starts from 0. Okay, let me run again. Should be okay now. Okay, good. So now here we have you can see it's different from the former one. So you can also print maybe you can say 2 and 3. For example, I say you want to print 2 and 3, which means 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2. So which means just say here 2 and 3. Just change this one to 1, right? Yeah. So we have 2 and 3. So you can run this one again. It will be different from what you have printed before. Can you see? I look like here 2 and 3. So you can change this one to 2 and 3. Okay. So that's what we are. Let's say they are not all the same. They are all different. But the best is 1 and 2. That is we have 0, 0 here. Then we have 1 here. So you can print all of them out to show in your, maybe you are dealing with a research. You can just print out to show different, to explain your analysis properly, how each of the plots look like. So you can see that. So that is just a simple way to explain KNN. And don't forget this approach is what we are seeing here now. Okay, practically happening. So that is that for today, and just stop here for now. I will see us in the next class. So you can like and share. You can subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to as we journey in this course. We're going to go to more advanced features in the machine learning before we move on to deep learning. So just follow us gradually as we go. Thank you so much for joining. I will see us in the next class. Bye for now.